Hi everybody, what's up? Codex here, once again, and we're back, and I'm back, and hopefully you're back, for today's episode of the forum, which is episode 4 of the 4, I just wanted to say that because I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, so today's episode is one I really wanted to talk about. Actually, that's been pretty much like all of them, really. Episode 1, all the way up to the current one, which is actually 5, but you know, I do it when the next one airs after the other one. So yeah, I'm talking about 4 after 5 aired. So, yeah. 4 is called Lessons Learned. And this is one where we kind of learn a lot more about Winter, and even Crow a bit too, because, you know, Crow and Winter had their interactions in the past chapter. And now we're gonna talk about them a bit more. But before we get to any of that, there was actually the last cliffhangers where it like went up to the next fight, which I talked about, which Cinder intentionally planned. So it was Mercury and Emerald versus Yatsuhashi and Coco. Now, at first glance, you'd think, oh, you know, Coco was so strong in Volume 2, so you'd think to yourself, and so is Yatsuhashi. It's like, are they gonna like totally tear it up, like totally destroy Emerald and Mercury? And it's just like, no, it's completely the other way around. Yeah, like in this we actually kind of start to realize how powerful some of the villains are. I mean, Mercury single-handedly like 1v1 Yatsuhashi, like no problem at all. And same goes for Emerald. Like, she was able to independently take care of Coco herself, even when Coco had that huge suitcase minigun weapon. So I was like, wow, like that totally blew my perspective out of the water, because I did not expect that to happen that way. I was honestly siding with Team Coffee, not just because I love coffee. I mean, that's true, but yeah, I was like, wow, I thought there was going to be a better chance, but it was kind of like that scenario where you see like well, of course it's like a bias or a favoring, and you're like, okay, you know, I think they're gonna win, and then it's kind of like that brief moment of silence, and you're kind of just like, no, why is it happening like this way? And then it just did. So I think it's nice is that the cliffhanger from the other chapter didn't necessarily mean that anyone was gonna get killed, because, you know, Emerald has like these mini scythe chains, scythe chains that are mini SMGs, like submachine guns. Actually, no, they're more like pistols. Okay, maybe it's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, yeah, I thought like literally, because she had the scythe and she was like gonna swing it right at Coco. So yeah, that was the part that was really like the thrill part right there. And then anyway, how will I break down the fight? So at the very beginning, it's really funny because, you know, Coco seems to be a really prideful character, much like Yang. So like there was like this little conversation at the beginning where Coco's like, you know what, I like her, like referring to Emerald, because Emerald had like blatantly insulted them. And then like once it gets towards the middle, well, it's really funny because like Emerald and Emerald and Mercury, because there's like a grass part of the field, and they literally just like run towards that side. And then like it's really funny because like a lot of people have circulated something where like in The Simpsons where it like shows him, he comes out like a hedge and he just literally just backs up into the hedge. It's like, where'd he go? That was literally Emerald and Mercury. It was really, really funny the way that people represented that, because they just disappeared. And then Coco used her minigun and fired it into the grass field, and then of course, like usual, they weren't there. And then the individual fights started happening, you know, it's a 2-on-2. So of course Yatsuhashi went against Mercury and Coco went against Emerald. And like after that part where Coco like shredded the grass with her minigun. The fight with Mercury and Yatsuhashi was really, really incredible because Mercury literally like breakdances when he fights. It's crazy. I was like, dude, it's Eddie Gordo, but he has gray hair and he's younger, so yeah. Yeah, he was doing like windmills. I think his element is wind. Or, yeah, I think so. So he's like spinning around, and then like these volleys of wind kept coming at them, and he made like a tornado. And then Emerald, she was just really, really fast, so Kodo couldn't keep up. And then by the end of the fight, well, I mean, they didn't die, they just got knocked out really hard. That was it. I was just like, oh, that's a relief because no one died. Because that'd be terrible. So, yeah, that's basically the fight scene. I thought it was really good. I don't know what you guys thought of it. I thought, see, it's really weird. People mentioned before, I was like, oh, RWBY doesn't have the same sort of energy or spirit in their fights. But actually, I think they really do. I mean, as we've been progressing, they've been getting better and better and better. So, yeah, I think there's just a lot to look forward to. So now let's get to more of like the casual, more the dialogue-based scenes. So now we're gonna go to the part with Crow, Yang, and RWBY. So it's really funny because, of course, RWBY being herself and Crow being himself, it's like, you know, they're near each other. Of course, they're gonna be like some sort of really humorous scenario. So RWBY and Crow are playing a video game on their TV in their dorm, and then like it's so funny because it has like that classic sort of like zoom in on their face. It's like, you think you can beat me? It's like, oh yeah, I think I can beat you. And then it zooms out in reality, and they're just like, they're literally using like their phones as a controller, and they're just playing. It's really funny. And then after, wait, I don't remember if RWBY, I think RWBY did lose. And then Yang just like literally pushes RWBY out of the way, and she falls in the back. And Yang's like, yeah, now it's my turn. And then after that, it carries on to the part where Crow actually kind of talks a little bit about himself. So we get to know a few things. Like, okay, not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be some serious story, but then it just goes down from there. Here, let me explain. So Crow's like, okay, so I was traveling in the middle of the forest outside of Beacon Academy by myself. I go to some forest, and go down a path, and I see a pub in a town. I want to go to that pub, and he goes there. He enters, like, the pub, and I think what's really cool is they use a really iconic kind of water-style painting animation, so it looks great. It looks gorgeous. And then he's there, and then he's like, you know, I see all these huntsmen, or these people that I think I know, and I sit down and get a drink, and then there's kind of like a pause. So you think, oh, this is a serious moment. And then, right after that, he's like, you know what? The waitresses had the best mini skirts ever. And then my reaction to that was like, oh my god, Crow. Are you serious, man? Like, after all this, I was thinking, oh, it's like a really, like, it's a moment I should take in. And then, just like most things, it turns into a humor tangent. Like, in a great way. I'm not saying this in any bad way. So, yeah, there's a segment of Crow for you. And then there's a really interesting part where Crow talks about the team he was in. So, like, he's in the team, it's called STRQ. And I used to think it meant, like, Star or something, but it means Stark. Like, Tony Stark, House of Stark, Game of Thrones, you know those references. But anyway, it's STRQ. So it's Summer, Taiyang, Raven, and Crow. So, yeah, those are like the four, well, I mean, we've only met two of them. But man, his characters are really cool. I really love Raven. I really hope she gets more screen time. Of course we have Crow. So, he has like a photo, and he shows that, like, he kind of like puts it out so RWBY and Yang can look at it. And then it's really interesting because Yang is really surprised because, I don't know if you guys remember Volume 2, Yang actually saw Raven. That was after the part with Neo. That was literally near the end of the volume. And, you know, Raven is technically Yang's mother. So it's like, whoa, you know, she's really blown away because, you know, it's like, oh, it's just like in the dream that I thought about. So yeah, a lot of people are theorizing, of course, and yeah, so that was pretty cool. Or pretty? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyway, let's carry on to the final part of this. So the final part is actually probably my favorite of this chapter. It's between Winter and Weiss. It's in this really nice setting. I don't know where it is in Beacon, like, technically speaking, but it shows like a fountain, some really nice, they kind of look like Victorian style tables, and then Winter and Weiss are having tea, and then they're talking to each other, and then Weiss is a bit sad because she knows that she's unskilled because in the latest chapter, or the chapter before that, she felt a bit disappointed because Winter caught so many of her faults in her tournament. So then Winter is encouraging Weiss to be like, okay, I want you to go out there and decide what you want to do with yourself, because it's so awesome because we now know how close they are to each other. I used to think at first that they were like sibling rivals like usual. So it's really cool. And Winter shows something that I never knew would be possible. But he's basically now what everyone's saying is that in the beginning of RWBY, in the beginning of the whole series, in the white trailer, which is basically for Weiss, she fought this giant suit of armor, which looked like a knight. And now everyone's saying, because what Winter explained basically was that you can summon your fallen enemies. So now everyone's like, oh, does that mean she can summon that giant suit of armor if she has the potential to do so? So now everyone's getting really excited. I am too, because now we know that we found out about Yang's semblance, and now we know a little bit more about Weiss's. So it is really intriguing. And now it's like, whoa, okay. Now she's gonna get some huge power spike, and now Weiss is gonna be a lot more powerful later on. And then there was this really touching part where Winter says goodbye because she actually does depart in this chapter. And she's like, I have to go, sister. And they actually hug each other. And I was just like, aww. They're actually really close to each other. So, yeah, I don't know what you guys thought about that scene in particular. But of these three, because see, there's Mercury and Emerald versus Yotsuhashi and Coco. And then Crow with Yang and RWBY, and Winter and Weiss. So those three scenes. Last one's my favorite. See, now this made the sneeze, Winter and Weiss, of course. It made their characters particularly grow a lot on me. Now I really like them. The thing that's sad now is that I don't know when Winter's gonna come back. So I'm like, no, Winter's gone, but Weiss is still here, so that's good. So I think that's about it. I mean, it was really good. I'm gonna have to rewatch that chapter. But yeah, I do, as a matter of fact, I have to do the beacon shift on me again and see where all my characters rank. Maybe I'll do a video of it so I can show you guys. But yeah, that was really good. I cannot emphasize that enough. This volume is really, like, literally blowing all of my, like first thoughts about this whole series, like, out of the water. It's grown so much. And they've gotten so good with their character designs, their music, the fights. I mean, it's nothing more than I could have asked for. It's all being done in Monty's memory. So, yeah. Like, I'm so thankful. It's such a great thing. Anyway, you guys, I think that's about it. So, as always, stay honest, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Until next time. This form turned out to be great. Man, it's always like really hard though, like honestly, because I do the forum whenever the next chapter airs. So I do the one before. I talk about the one before. I don't do it on the same day, because then I wouldn't have anything to really talk about. So I'm kind of like here sitting, and I'm not gonna lie, I was honestly thinking about chapter 5 today, because chapter 5 was like, see, I'm gonna say really, really again, because it was really, really good. Oh, I said it 3 times now. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. I'm really enjoying doing this series. I'm really glad that I thought I said I was really good and I thought about it. It's not what I meant. Yeah. It's a grand series, you guys. Anyway, I will see you all next one. Bye-bye.